maximize living chiropractic doctor. So what that means, there's 450 of us roughly across the country, and we all teach and preach, if you will, the 5 essentials, and that is part of one part of our health delivery system is this form of nutrition. So the advanced plan. So 3 major things from the advanced plan that we started on from the makeover is number 1, you want to eliminate all your sugars. Number 2 is you want to remove your bad fats and replace them with good ones. And number 3 was you're replacing your conventional proteins. That's it. 3 steps, A, B, and C. You do those 3 things, you're going to get results much like True Gut. And that's only 3 weeks. Imagine what you're going to be at. Okay, 12 weeks, 16 weeks. So if we break this down into revolutionizing the diet, so top 10 reasons. So the first one is avoiding sugar. That's the first one we want to avoid. So sugar is toxic. And it's not so much sugar you're putting in your coffee or you're adding on top of your food. It's already in the food that you're eating. But sugar causes cancer. If you go to get a PET scan, God forbid, and somebody's ever had cancer, what they do is they inject radioactive sugar, which is dye, because that's where the cancer cells go to. So that's what a PET scan is. And what they're doing is they're seeing what the cancer cells are going to. So with that type, another reason to avoid sugar besides that, so it's one of the primary reasons for obesity. So if you're trying to lose weight, one of the best things you do, if you eliminate your sugar and drop it down, you'll lose weight right away. So if you look on a thing of yogurt, you see 20 grams of sugar, go ahead and convert that over to 20 grams of fat, because that's how your body will break down sugar. So sugar will equal fat. It causes inflammation. If you have arthritis, if you have chronic lower back, neck, middle back pain, you're trying to get out of pain, osteoporosis, osteopenia, low bone density. Get rid of the sugar. Clean up your diet. It will help. Next one, for primary reason for high cholesterol. So what they found with high cholesterol. So who thinks cholesterol is good? It's very good. If we didn't have cholesterol, we'd be dead. So high cholesterol is what the problem is. High cholesterol, who remembers when high cholesterol used to be at 300 back in the day? High cholesterol used to be at 300. And then guess what? The drug companies got into the mix. So by dropping it down to 200, what did they do? They just opened up how many more? They just opened up 33% more of the population for statins. Same thing with diet. They call it disease monitoring. Same thing with diabetes. So blood sugar. High blood sugar is 126 now. It used to be in the 150s. What happens now? You drop down to 126. Where we have? Well, it's down to 126. Guess now. You're type 2 diabetic, early onset. What do you need? Metformin. Meds. Disease monitoring. Now you just opened up yourself to all these new medications. Take another step. High blood pressure. Remember, high blood pressure used to be over 130. They dropped it down to 120 over 80. Now they said it could be early onset if you're that. So they call it pre-hypertension now. Take a low dose blood pressure med. So you have to get smart. You have to understand these are the real truths to your health. These are not fallacies. These are truths. All this money is out there. It's money. It's all driven by, unfortunately, it's all driven by money. How much money is out there? How many drugs can get people on to make all this money? Moving on down. So talk about diabetes, toxins, heart disease, and then cancer is what we touched on. How many of us have gone shopping, and when we go grocery shopping, we look for low fat? So everybody's lying. I used to do it before I knew what it was. So when you go low fat, that's how it tarries, right? It's exactly how they drop down the fat content, but they still need it to taste good. Because if there's no fat, so how do they need it to taste good? Well, they replace it. So low fat's going to equal sugar. So they're going to replace the taste from the removed fats, but how are they going to do it? They're going to use sugar and additives like high fructose corn syrup. That's the mnemonic there, HFCS. HFCS, you're going to find it typically in a lot of sodas. A lot of your baked goods, pretty much anything that's sweet to it. And what it is, it's a sugar sweetener, it's an additive. So anything that you're buying that's low fat, that's how it's low fat. They'll replace it. Typically low fat, it's going to equal high sugar. So be careful when you're going shopping on what you're buying. And then a low fat diet is also going to mean a high carbohydrate diet. That's what that's going to turn into. And that's going to have a negative impact on your blood sugar, it's going to have a negative impact on your insulin, metabolism, cancer, obesity, and heart disease. So pretty much the trifecta times 2, it's going to have that type of negative impact on it. Now, if we, number 2 on this, we touched on sugar. So not hard to take sugar out. You just have to do it. You just have to take action. If you don't take any action, the results aren't going to change. Number 2 with your nutrition is you got to replace your fats. Healthy fat is essential. It helps protect your organs, helps give you some cushion, your skin, absorbs your vitamins, lowers inflammation. That's what fat does. Fat is very good for you. If you take in the right type of fat, you need it. Take it in all the time. It allows your body to detox. So what types of fat do we need? So there's some culprits here. Where do you guys think we can find bad fat? Meat. Meat. Processed foods, yeah, exactly. So what you're looking for is you're looking for partially hydrogenated, or this buzzword. Hydrogenated is a buzzword. That's going to be a buzzword for fat. Now, if you're looking on the back of your label, so if you see these on here, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, those are all bad fats. Those are the types of fats that if you take in regular, that's going to give you, you're going to become one of those fats. That's what that turns into. Eating like that, that's where that number comes from. I was fine. I had blood work done. Doc says I have high cholesterol now. You're in the model. You're now a welcome part of being on a drug that they have no intention of getting you off of anytime soon. So that's where it starts at. If you eat like garbage consistently, you're not exercising, you're stressed out to the max, you're not sleeping, how do you expect you're not going to become a stat? It's inevitable. It's just a matter of time. And eventually that time will come. So if we look back into other culprits, so, and I'm not saying you have to eat clean 24/7, 365. We cheated this weekend. We went out Friday, we had pizza. So I'm not here to tell you that I eat clean every single day of the week, because I don't. But I know my limitations. I know what I can eat, what I cannot eat, what I can get away with. And when I eat bad, Saturday, like we had pizza Friday night, and Saturday morning I went running, and I didn't feel that good. My joints were stiff, because I was detoxifying. So was that really worth it? And Saturday I was commiserating, was that really worth the 3 pieces of pizza that I had? We had a good time and all that other good stuff. So then if you break it down as well, so trans fats, they're going to be found in margarine and synthetic butters. So we touched on this at the makeover as well. So let the ants tell the story. So here's the story of the ants. So ants here, so we have all these ants here. What's the difference?
Butter and margarine.
Right. So they go to the good stuff. They go to the natural, this is man-made, natural. So if it's good for the ants, it must be good for us, right? So that's the story that the ants like to tell with the butter.
There's 3 ingredients in butter, and they're all digestible. Margarine is a molecule away from plastic.
Yeah, there's actually, that's exactly right. There's actually chemicals of plastic that are made in it, the tub butters. So if you're using the tub butters, walk them out of the window. Clean out the kitchen, get rid of them. The coconut spread, butter's fine. You don't need to take 5 tablespoons of it, but it's fine. It's a healthy fat. Somewhere, just don't fall into that low fat myth that we get snookered into the following along all this time. Okay. So healthy oils as well. So we talk about changing our oils, what to eat, what not to eat with our oils. All the ones on our previous page are the ones you stay away from. Now your coconut oil is going to be your best one to heat.
Because it's a medium chain.
Right. Fatty acid.
And it's saturated with medium okay, right?
Yeah, so when you heat it, it does not become rancid. If you heat these other ones, walnut oil, cod liver oil, hemp seed oil, these are types of oils you can use on your salads, or you can put them over your nuts if you will. And it's a healthy oil to take in. If you heat it, it becomes a rancid fat. It turns into one of those bad oils we were just talking about. So when you're cooking and you're marinating vegetables or you're sauteing them, use a coconut oil because you have to turn up over heat. And then olive oil over medium heat, not only or grapeseed oil. But if you're going to put something on high heat, coconut oil is going to withhold that test. So coconut, pretty much coconut, anything is going to be pretty much good for you.
So what about sesame?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, just don't know what to eat it. So that's truth number 2. So we're really keeping this simple tonight. So it's only 3 truths we're worried about tonight. And then the third one here is replacing your proteins. And that's the third one on it. So how do we replace our proteins here? So everyone knows what makes up a protein, whether it's a fish, beef, chicken. All your pork, the only thing we're going to tell you to replace completely are your pork products. No pork.
No pork?
No pork. Because you have to realize what does pork eat? So pig, garbage. Okay. They eat garbage. So you are what you eat, but remember, you're not so much you are what you eat, you are what you are eats. So if that's what it's eating, you're eating that. The other way. Purdue would love you to eat. But that is, so even psychologically, even with what Denise just said, the other white meat.
Supposed to be lower.
That's her jingle though, isn't it? The other white meat. See how it sticks? What do you think of it? It just sticks. It's scary. It works. So, fats and meats. So here, fats and meats. Who's heard this one? Fat and meat causes heart disease, cancer, don't eat it. We heard it all the time. So the real truth is that it's improper ratio of what's called your omega-3 to your omega-6 fatty acids. So I want you to be from a 2-to-1 ratio from your omega-3 to your omega-6s. I don't want to lose you here in the biochemistry. The standard American diet, I want you at 2-to-1. The standard American diet's about 20-to-1 ratio. Okay, that's why we're so sick. But if you have the right type of protein you're taking in, you can get it down to that perfect ratio, that 2-to-1. So it has to be organic, grass-fed, or wild. That's what we mean by changing your proteins. Organic, grass-fed, or wild. And what will happen as well, it will produce that proper ratio. They contain fatty acids that your body needs, and you'll actually burn fat this way. You won't store it, you'll burn fat this way. Just from knowing, and if you do incorporate these 3 things, it's going to allow you to live a much healthier lifestyle than you're currently doing if you haven't made these changes as of yet. Another form of healthy fat as well is dairy, but it's not the type of dairy we're used to drinking. So if you're drinking milk that is from the grocery store, this is going with that canola oil tonight. When you go shopping and you're throwing stuff out, your commercial dairy as well. It's going in the can. That's where all the carcinogens live, high growth hormones, high carcinogens. That's what we're trying to stay away from. So it's conventional dairy. So at the very least, we're going organic skim. At the very least, if not almond milk or coconut milk. Those are the changes for your dairy products. Raw organic dairy, if you can find it, it's hard to find.
I think Sandwich has got good.
Yeah, go. It's you can buy a carton of Marlboros at any convenience store, but you can't find raw dairy milk.
Yeah.
You do the math on that one. So those are the truths with the nutrition. Okay.
So the almond oil and coconut, the almond milk and coconut milk is not dairy.
Correct.
What about the soy?
Good question. So I have the vegetarians hate this talk because I have to tell them to get off of soy. Soy is spice up your estrogen levels, but it's synthetic. So no soy. So soy, if you look into when you're doing your tongue twister. When you're reading your labels, soy protein, it's in a lot of stuff. It is one of, and if you're seeing it as a staple, if it's in one of your top 4 or 5 ingredients, then there's a lot of it in there. The way the ingredient labels are made is that the farther you go down, the less minimal that ingredient is, but the closer they are to the top, that's how you know more quantities of it. If you buy wheat bread, you always want to see wheat as that first ingredient. That's where you know it's 100% wheat. So moving forward, other forms of healthy fats. We touched on avocados, great form of healthy fat. Coconuts, great one. Raw nuts and seeds. So the buzzword here is raw.
What about the coconut powder and the shredded coconut that they sell? What do they say your soup's fantastic?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, put it in there.
Even those macaroons would be bad for you.
You know it all too well. Just a little bit.
What did she say? Coconut macaroons, you know. I'm just, trying to get a little bit off of it, so.
Don't shoot the messenger.
I know.
Don't shoot the messenger. And then so you raw nuts and the seeds and the oils as well. So a couple of supplements you can take. So when it comes to supplements, it matters what you take. These are the products that we offer because I know the quality that's in them. As long as they're 100% organic, I don't care where you get them from. As long as they meet the litmus test, which I know that these do, because they're supplements that have poor quality control. So for weight loss as well, the first one over here on the right, we started vitamin D3. So vitamin D3, I was just talking to Bob about this earlier. So we touched on this at the makeover. Vitamin D3 levels go in the tank, especially over the winter months. We get sick, our immune systems go down. I want you taking 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 daily. This is going to help not only with inflammation, it's going to promote weight loss and insulin secretion, so it's going to also help you absorb your blood. It's going to help you with your blood sugar regulation. And so taking this is going to equal about 20 to 30 minutes of sunshine. So when we go outside, what they found is that that's how we get our vitamin D. It's one of the few things we don't get from food. We get it from the sun. But you have to go outside, you have to be completely nude for 20 minutes, and you can't shower for 24 hours. Yeah, they do. They frown upon, apparently, they do. They do. So, don't eat much. Vitamin D3. So that if you're not taking vitamin D3, much like they consider aspirin to be the miracle drug, which is funny in itself, the supplement that everyone should be taking is vitamin D3. Next one's going to be a fish oil. So your fish oil, remember, standard American diet is 20 to 1. This is going to break it down to 2 to 1. It's going to be your standard fish oil here. The litmus test, if you take supplements on your own, grab a glass, grab a half of a lemon, squeeze the lemon into the glass, throw the supplement in there and see how long it takes to dissolve. If it dissolves quickly, then you know it's going to be a good supplement. That's going to mimic your stomach acid, if you will. If it sits there and it doesn't absorb into the juice, then you know it's going to be something you need to get rid of. So you need to test your supplements to cheap test it to check it with. But these are the two to help regulate your fat as well as improve your immunity that I highly, highly recommend. And fish oils, it's like a 10-cent word now. You can go to Sam's Club and get like